Hey guys, it's James Marsters. I've just arrived in Newcastle. Looking forward to Comic-Con Northeast. Gonna get a good night's sleep, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Fabulous job, Newcastle. They're a rowdy crowd, James. She's directed a film, and we'd love to chat about that. And it also benefits charities, Peace Over Violence. So can you explain your film? We'd love to hear more.
Yes, it's called A Place Among the Dead. It will be coming out this year. We're just wrapping up our festival circuit, and we've been sweeping all of the awards. I'm not allowed to announce how many yet, but it's been amazing. The movie is a genre-bending art film which explores the repercussions of growing up under the sway of narcissism and psychological abuse. And we have an incredible cast. We've got Gary Oldman, Ron Perlman, Robert Patrick, Lance Henriksen, Anne Rice, best-selling author Anne Rice, appearing for the only time she ever did acting in a movie before she passed away. And we've just been having the most profound conversations with audience as we've been on this journey. So I'm excited to share the movie with all of you guys too later on this year.
That's wonderful. Another round of applause, yes. Very cool to go behind the scenes there. And Charisma, you created a fan community in mycon.live. Can you tell us more about that?
MyCon.live was, the origin of it was during the pandemic, when everything was shutting down. Fans couldn't attend cons where there was community. People just in general were sending DMs via Instagram in distress, feeling isolated, feeling concerned. How long is it going to last? I can't even go to my barista and work in my local coffee shop. I'm depressed, I'm anxious. And I decided in March, I think it was in March of 2020, I said, if you need words of encouragement or you want a video, just DM me and I'll send you a free video. And then became inundated with video requests. And I figured it wasn't tenable to continue to send those videos out through Instagram. So I had a friend create a site. And it was just sort of born out of that. And then once all of those requests were honored, I decided to just start this and do it full time and do meet and greets and do shout outs and sell photos. And then eventually with more time, I'm going to bring on other talent and, make it a virtual community so that whether our world shuts down or you can't leave or, a lot of people are immune compromised still and don't feel safe, you can join the Buffy or the sci-fi community virtually. That's mycon.live.
Very cool. Giving back to the fans and making them feel seen. That's fabulous. Well, James, we know in your personal life, you are a rock star. With Ghost of the Robot, yes, playing I think it's July 24th in LA, big show. You also have a new TV show, but tell us about what you've been working on outside of Comic-Con.
Ghost of the Robot is putting out a new album, Tin Man. It'll be out this summer, and we're playing the Mint. And it's our best album yet. It's vocally, seriously, the best album. Like, we went in and just slammed out the album as a band, all together. We want to do it fast and furious and not be careful about it. And we're so impressed with ourselves. It's really good. And then, on Amazon Prime, there's a new show that I'm in called Casa Grande, which is an update of Upstairs, Downstairs, which is like an old show, but it basically, for those of you who are too young to know, it's about, Upstairs, Downstairs was about an English manor, the rich people who live there, and the servants who did all the work, basically. And both sides are human beings, but they don't understand each other because there's this class divide. There's a gulf between them. And this updates it to California in the Napa Valley, the wine growing region. And so all the rich people are like wine growers and ranchers, and the servants are the Latinos that work the land. And I play a douchebag. Lovable douchebag, ruthless, like I'm trying to steal someone's land and they're probably going to commit suicide if they lose their land, and I just don't care. Love it. So fun. But it's not genre, you know. So it's just like modern day, but it's really good. And then another show for Apple Plus and animated, where I play a skull. And I'm having the time of my life. And I can't say anything. That's probably actually saying too much. I'm going to get in trouble now.
Well, it's just between us. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just a few of
No
us
one's
here.
gonna say
Lovable
anything.
douchebag. I love that he had to clarify, but he's a lovable douchebag. Don't worry about it. We love to hate you, and I mean that in the sweetest way. Well, let's go to the fans, you guys. I could chat with them all day and fangirl, but we'd love to hear from you. James has the microphone over here. Give it up for James, everybody. And we've got a question here.
Joyce died. And frankly, until I was at a con with her and someone asked about the body, and I still haven't seen it, but I hear it's amazing. I've seen clips and stuff. I need to do a watch. I really do. I do need to do a watch, and I will, now that I have more time. So, but thank you for thinking of me, and in that regard, cheers to that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a coffee real quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Chris.
Hi, I just want to say we all absolutely love the show, and just a big thank you for Charisma for speaking out against certain people that we love the show in spite of. We love it for you guys rather than people who shouldn't. I'm not even going to name. It's a really brave thing to speak up against.
Well, thank you. And it is. It was very scary. Very scary. But I do want to say this. The show was built by so many people. There were 200 people involved on a daily basis making that show. And these actors that I share this stage with are probably one of the best of the best, right? So I just wanted to kind of give you all permission to be okay with loving the show still, because it's bigger than just one person. So thank you for acknowledging the very hard thing that was. I appreciate that, but please keep loving it. You know, I wouldn't be here if I didn't love it. It was a huge part of my life, and there were things about it that I will never, ever forget. And I'm eternally grateful for. And your devotion to the show is still this day, like, we're packed right now. Like, it just blows my mind. So thank you. Truly.
My question's for all of you, but mainly for James. What was it like working with Christian Kane? And I know James worked with him on Leverage Redemption.
Yeah, Christian is a maniac. But he's the most loving guy you'll ever meet. He has more energy than I know what to do with. And he's really good at golf, which does not make sense. Like that, if you meet Christian, the last thing you expect is he would be a golfer. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, it's wonderful, man. Yeah, so he tried to teach me golf and failed. Like, I thought my acting was terrible. Horrible. But yeah, I love Christian. We had a great time. Yeah.
He's a very passionate actor. And he works incessantly, so great guy.
Hello guys. I'm very glad to see you all here. Buffy broke my heart in so many ways, so many times while I was watching, and Angel too. The story of Cordelia was just like one of the saddest and most beautiful things on Angel. And I wanted to ask, what things make you emotional, and what things make you cry, either in real life or when you're watching something? Maybe recently watched something that made you cry.
Meerkat Manor makes me cry. I mean, I'm a sensitive person. I cry all the time, and I'm touched at moments like this. You know, it's very real for me. It's very touching. It's my life, and to know that I am relevant at this juncture, you know, 25-something years later, that you guys care and you share with me the stories that were important to you while watching the show, the relationships that you developed as a result of watching the show, the love connections between you. I lost my mom recently. That definitely made me cry. It makes me cry right now. I won't cry, but I'm touched. I understand when people say I didn't at first understand when people said your character made me, I loved your character, she made me stronger, or whatever. And I'm like, I don't understand in what way did this mean girl give, and it was just something about the confidence, just the way that you explain it to me and how touched you are by the character, by the shows. The last thing I'll say about that and give it to the floor to them is when I learn about, especially now that my mom is gone, when people grew up watching the show with their parents when they didn't have a connection with their parents, but it was like the one thing that they could do together, and then they have that still, like if their parents have moved on, that they can revisit it's a comfort show where they can revisit the show when they're sad or when they want to be and feel connected to that parent or that loved one. That touches me deeply.
I love crying, by the way. I do it for a living. But like, anytime when there's like a really dark situation in a movie or a book, and then there's hope, that's what gets me. The little bit of light. Like, one of my favorite lines in theater is a play called Camino Real by Tennessee Williams. And there's a line in it that says, "The violets in the mountains have broken the rocks." And when that happens in a movie, you know what I mean? Just like a little shoot of life or hope comes in to a really bad situation. I'm all over the floor.
I'm the same. I'm sensitive, so I'm a crier at the drop of a hat. But definitely meeting people, and if you've had an impact, and just learning people's stories and what you all share when we get to talk and hang out, it's really moving and touching. I think, I don't know, but I would suspect they could speak for themselves, but I think I became a creative person because for me growing up, it was, not a healthy environment, a toxic environment, and I feel like I saw things about the human condition that made me understand my own life and the things I was going through. And so for me, with entertainment, I think that it's when there's human elements, when there's stuff that I can relate to, and I can get involved in those kinds of stories, and it teaches me something about my own journey and about all of us, like how we're all the same and we're all doing the best we can. I think that's when I get moved.
I do want to add one thing, and that is on Mother's Day, I have a son, he's 20, and he's on his own now. And on Mother's Day, my nieces and nephew wanted to take me for coffee. And so we go for coffee, and they got me gifts. And I was a little bit sad that I didn't get to share it with my son. And I made a comment to my nieces and nephews, like, yeah, I'm probably not going to hear from him today. And, because now that he's 20, he doesn't have a grown-up to remind, hey, call your mom, it's Mother's Day. And my phone rang, and I, literally started to cry. He called, he remembered, Mom, I just wanted to say, how's your day? And I'm like, he remembered, I'm such a sap when it comes to my day.
It's this question that I have, which is, are my kids going to call me because they don't really need me anymore? Right. They're all launched and everything.
I want them to like me.
Exactly. Do we actually have a relationship? Are we friends, I guess,
yes.
is at the end of the day.
Yes.
And you kind of hold your breath hoping. Yeah.
I mean, my kid will, he will also anger me on it too, like nobody else as well. But just the love of my son is just,
Well, we were together recently, and he texted you a really sweet message, and you were like, oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, it kills me.
question's for James. In the episode on Angel Smile Time, when the fight with Spike and the puppet of Angel happens, what was actually happening behind the scenes for that scene to actually be made?
That was one of the most humiliating days of my life. Yeah. Because, like, the gag is that Puppet Angel, does he sock me? Or does he kick me? Or whatever the thing is. But the puppet whacks me. And I go flying, like, 18 feet up in the air and bam, down on the ground. And so to do that, it wasn't me. It was Steve. It was Steve Tartaglia, who was a maniac. And he came from Hong Kong. And he was willing to do stunts that American stunt people were not willing to do. And so to do it, they just put a wire on Steve and yanked him up 18 feet and dead dropped him onto concrete. Right? And so, and the thing is like the stunt person does the gag and they have to lay still in whatever position they ended up in, and the actor goes in there and they match exactly, the body position. So I'm going running over there, are you alive, Steve? And Steve is like twitching and laughing. He's like, like, and we do the deal, and I roll into his position, and he makes sure that it's all correct and everything. And then as Steve is like limping off, they go, James, would you like a pillow while we wait and do the thing?